Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear students, a very pleasant good morning to everyone. Today we want to know how to prepare the indicators in the based on value ordered course. Now I want to intro myself. I am Dr. N. Mujaffar Kani, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, Jamal Hammoud College. What is called indicator? Indicator is a chemical reagent used to recognize the attainment of endpoint in a titration. After the reaction between the substance and the standard solution is complete, the indicator should give a clear color change. When a titration is carried out, the free energy change for the reaction is always negative. Why we want use the indicator? What is the role of indicator? The common application of indicator is the deduction of endpoints of a titrations. We have divided different type of titrations like acid-base titration, redox titration, the oxidation and the reduction part involved in a particular part of a titration, then compleximetric titration, etc. The color of an indicator alters when the acidity or the oxidizing strength of the solution or the concentration of a certain chemical species reaches a critical range of values. An indicator is a substance that changes color in response to a chemical change. For example, an acid-base indicator. It detects hydronium ion or hydrogen ions in the Arrhenius model. Here I have listed different type of indicators. In this chapter, we want to know how to prepare those type of indicators in a different mode. And the list of indicators, one is a phenolphthalein, another one is a methyl orange, N-phenylanthranilic acid, potassium ferricyanide, starch, ferric alum, potassium chromate, fluorescein, eriochrome black tea, eosin, and diphenylamine. So now we want to know how to prepare those type of indicators in a different pathway. First one is the phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein is an organic compound of the phthalate family that is widely employed as an acid-base indicator. It is an indicator of a solution pH. Phenolphthalein is colorless below pH 8.5 and attains a pink to deep red color above pH 9.0. And the titration of an acid-base system using phenolphthalein as an indicator. What is the reason behind in this type of a part? Phenolphthalein is a colorless below pH and it should be presented as a deep red color in a above pH range because of it is a strong acid strong base titration is performed using a phenolphthalein indicator. Here it is often used as an indicator in acid base titration. For this application, it turns colorless in acidic solution and pink in a basic solution. Already told that it should be presented as a colored nature above pH 9.0. It should be presented as a colorless below pH, below pH range 8.0. Here, phenolphthalein is chosen because it changes color in a pH ranges between 8.3 to 10. It will appear pink in basic solution and it should be appear as a colorless nature in a acidic solution. Phenolphthalein is a naturally colorless but turns pink in alkaline solution. The compound remains colorless throughout the range of acidic pH levels but begins to turn pink at a pH level of 8.2 and continues to bright magenta at a pH 10 and above. This is a reasons present in the type of a part below pH is a colorless and above pH is a colored nature. Then even the phenolphthalein molecule is a colorless and the phenolphthalein ion is a pink. Phenolphthalein is a weakly acidic in nature and in aqueous solution it dissociates into ions. The pink color of the solution is due to the concentration of ions in the solution. Under acidic condition, the concentration of in the solution is very low and the concentration of is high, hence it is colorless water. This is a common preparation of phenolphthalein part. It is prepared from a phenol and phthalic anhydride in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid under the heat condition. It is the preparation part of a phenolphthalein. But here the correct way to prepare a phenolphthalein indicator solution is as follows. The first point, I mean first way, weigh 0.5 gram of phenolphthalein powder, add the powder to 50 ml of 10%, I mean 100% or 95% ethanol, and stir well. It should be allowed, allow the powder to properly dissolve in ethanol. Now make up the volume to 100 ml by adding distilled water. After that, it dispense in a bottle with a dropper to ensure easy dropwise addition of the indicator. Is the proper way to prepare the phenolphthalein indicator. The next one, methyl orange. Methyl orange is a pH indicator frequently used in a titration because of its clear and distinct color variant at different pH values. It shows red color in acidic medium and yellow color in a basic medium. It is also provide the different range color variation in the pH ranges because it changes color at the pK of mid-strength acid. It is usually used in a titration for acids. When methyl orange is added to a solution of sodium hydroxide, then it will impart a yellow color. Methyl orange generally changes from yellow to red in acidic medium. This is the preparation way of methyl orange indicator. pH below 3.1, it shows as a red, to pH above 4.4, yellow orange. It is best for solution with the concentration. Mix 1 gram of methyl orange powder with water. Use 2 drops for each 25 ml of solution in a titration. It is a simple way to prepare the methyl orange indicator. The next one indicator is N-phenylanthranilic acid. It is a redox indicator. It involved in a reduction oxidation process part of a titration category. It is also called oxidation reduction indicator. It is an indicator which undergoes a definite color change at a specific electrode potential. It acts as a parent skeleton for the synthesis of several non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. It has a role as a membrane transport modulator. It is a secondary amino compound and then aminobenzoic acid. It is derived from anthranic acid. You know that? It is derived from anthranic acid because of it is what is say that it is one part of anthranic acid that is called aminobenzoic acid. And how to prepare the N-phenylanthranilic acid indicator? N-phenylanthranilic acid was prepared by dissolving 100 milligram of the indicator in 5 ml of 0.1 sodium hydroxide and make up to 100 ml with a distilled water. What happening here by using this type of indicator, the color changes from purple color to purple red color to colorless category. The next one, potassium ferricyanide. Potassium ferricyanide is the chemical compound with the formula K3FeCN6. This bright red salt contains the octahedrally coordinated FeCN6 3- ion. It is soluble in water and its solution shows some green yellow fluorescence. So because it is a inorganic complex, the potassium ferricyanide indicator. Then how to prepare the potassium ferricyanide indicator? It separates from the solution. A solution of 10 gram potassium ferricyanide, 100 gram of potassium ferricyanide in 1000 ml of water is saturated with the chlorine with a frequent stirring until the solution exhibits a fine deep red color. The next one indicator is a starch indicator. Starch solution is a commonly used as an indicator for detecting the presence of iodine. When starch and iodine are present together, they form a deep blue starch iodine complex because of it is easily accommodated with the iodine part. That's only it frequently used in identify the presence of iodine category. The basic chemical formula of the starch molecule is a C6H10O5N. So it is a general part, C6H10O5N times present in the particular part. That's only the starch is a polysaccharide comprising glucose monomers joined in alpha 1,4 linkages. The simplest form of starch is the linear polymer amylose. Amylopectin is the branched form. Starch is often used in chemistry as an indicator for redox titrations. This is another way to prepare the starch indicator part. Add 1 gram of starch into 10 ml of distilled water, shake well, and pour into 100 ml of boiling distilled water. Stir thoroughly and boil for 1 minute. Leave to cool down. If the precipitate forms, decant the supernatant and use as a indicator solution. This is the proper way to prepare the starch indicator. Then another one way, put 500 ml of distilled water to the beaker on the magnetic stirrer. Weigh 10.2 gram of starch. Empty gradually the container with the starch into the spinning water. Prepare the bottle with the labels starch. 2% starch solution and shake before use. Put the solution into the bottle. Put the bottle to the fridge for storage. Why is starch solution freshly prepared? You know that in our experimental part, experimental procedure contains, we may add the freshly prepared starch only. So here the starch indicator solution must be freshly prepared since it will decompose and its sensitivity is decreased. That's only we should use the freshly prepared starch solution only. The next one indicator is a potassium chromate indicator. Potassium chromate is the inorganic compound with the formula K2CrO4. This yellow solid is the potassium salt of chromate anion. It is a common laboratory chemical, whereas sodium chromate is important industrially also. It is the anionic, anionic nature of chromate part accompanied with potassium. Approximately, it dissolves in 1 gram of potassium chromate in 20 ml distilled water. If the seawater contains of solid sand or seaweed, it must be filtered before use. It is also used as an indicator in precipitation titrations with silver nitrate and sodium chloride. They can be used as standard as well as titrant for each other, as a potassium chromate turns red in the presence of excess of silver ions. So what happening here, the silver chloride treat with the potassium chromate, it may converted into a silver chromate as a red precipitate part. An indicator that could be used in potassium chromate, silver ions can combine with the chromate ions to produce a red precipitate of silver chromate. When both chloride and chromate ions are present, the white silver chloride appears first. When all the chloride ions have reacted, the chromate ions then react and a red precipitate will appear. So the sudden appearance of the red silver chromate can be used to indicate the endpoint of the titration. And here only we may be identified by the red precipitate. It should indicate the endpoint of the titration. Then makeup of 5% solution of the indicator as the repeat the titration using the indicator part. Which indicator is used in Moore's method? The Moore method uses chromate ions as the indicator for the argentometric determination of bromide, chloride, and cyanide ions. Then another one important view in the present potassium chromate, it is a highly carcinogen in humans. There may be no safe level of exposure to a carcinogen. So all contact should be reduced to the lowest possible level. The next indicator, the ferric alum indicator, NH4FeSO4 twice. It should be prepared by dissolving 140 gram of ferric ammonium sulfate crystals in 400 ml of hot water. When cool, filter and make up to a volume of 500 ml with dilute nitric acid. Alum is essentially aluminum sulfate with empirical formula Al2SO4 twice 18H2O. It is of two different types. One is a ferric and another one is a non-ferric. Ferric alum is a less pure form of aluminum sulfate. Then another one important indicator is of fluorescence. It is a structural part of a fluorescent. The fluorescent is a xanthine dye that is highly fluorescent, deductible even when present in a minute quantities. It is used forensically to detect traces of blood in analytical chemistry as an indicator in silver nitrate titration, and it is also used in a microscopy level. It has a role as a radio opaque medium and a fluorescent dye. Fluorescent is a fluorescent dye which is mostly used as a chemical indicator in many applications. It's a disodium salt is a red crystalline or yellow powder called uranine. Uranine it is soluble in water and alcohol and belongs to the group of xanthine dyes. This is what I say that resemblance part of xanthine dye. Then fluorescence indicator for a wide range of applications. For example, for compleximetric or precipitation titration, dye tracing in liquids, and as strains and dyes for visualizing cells, cell components, chromosomes, and bacteria in microscopy, or for detecting antigen-antibody reactions. In water tracing, fluorescent dyes are commonly used for determining water flow. So that the fluorescent used in a precipitation titration part. Then how to prepare the fluorescent? This is a common preparation part of a fluorescent. It is prepared from a phthalic anhydride and resarcinol. In the presence of zinc chloride, we may get a fluorescent. But here we want to prepare the fluorescent indicator. The fluorescent has an absorption maximum at 494 nanometer and emission maximum of 512 nanometer in a watt. The next one important indicator, eriochrome black tea. Eriochrome black tea is a compleximetric indicator. It is used in compleximetric titrations. For example, in the water hardness determination process. It is an azo dye. Eriochrome is a trademark of Huntsman Petrochemical. In its deprotonated form, eriochrome black tea is a blue nature. It turns red when it forms a complex with calcium or magnesium or some other metal ions. A blue dye called eriochrome black tea is used as the indicator. This blue dye also forms a complex with the calcium, magnesium, and changing color from blue to pink in the process. The solution of indicator is prepared by dissolving 1 gram of eriochrome black tea in 15 ml of triethyl amine and adding 5 ml of absolute alcohol. It can also be prepared by dissolving 0.2 gram of eriochrome black tea in 20 ml of absolute alcohol. Use about 3 to 4 drops of the indicator solution in the titration part. Then another one indicator, eosin indicator. Eosin Y indicator is prepared by dissolving 50 milligram of eosin Y in 10 ml distilled water. So this eosin dissolved in a 10 ml of distilled water, now it's prepared, the indicator part. Eosin is also used as a red dye in inks. However, the molecule, especially that of eosin Y, tends to degrade over time, leaving behind its bromine atoms, hence causing paint incorporating such a dye to obtain a darker brown tinge over time. So it is a special cadre present to the eosin indicator. It's a simple way to prepare the eosin indicator. Then final one, diphenylamine indicator. Diphenylamine is an indicator used in titrations that involve redox reactions, especially those in which potassium chromate or potassium dichromate is used as the oxidizing agent. The reagent is a solution of 0.5% diphenylamine in 90% sulfuric acid. Then to prepare the reagent, slowly add 90 ml of concentrated sulfuric acid to 10 ml of water while stirring continuously, and then add this reagent in successive small portions to 0.5 gram of diphenylamine. So by this way, we may prepare the diphenylamine indicator. So it is another simplest way to prepare the diphenylamine indicator. So until now, we have completed the whole part of the preparation of indicators, phenolphthalein, methyl orange, diphenyl anthracyclic acid, then eosin, and also eriochrome black tea, some other indicators involved the preparation part. Thank you very much for your patience and listening.